This channel is all about me building wealth at the age of 24. So I got a second job to try to speed up that process, and I have an interview in like 30 minutes. So what I'm gonna do is use this job as a cash infusion method. So the cash infusion method is essentially when you know you have money coming in, but it's not going to be long term. Now, you may see this in certain like video games too, where you will have a certain amount of coins or money or something, and that allows you to get some type of thing that multiplies your points, basically. Okay, so we've all had a game like that, where like now all of our points are worth 2 coins instead of 1 or something, you know, and it's for a short period of time. Well, this happens in real life too, and one of the ways is getting another job. Now, I've tried to get a different job before. Well, I didn't try. I applied for another type of part-time job and I got it, but the job was way too stressful. So I lasted approximately an hour and I was over it. Like, I just can't, right? But now, I definitely think that I'll be able to keep this particular job. It is going to be at a Dollar General. So how this came about is I was just driving one day and I was like, oh my gosh, all these financial goals I have could really easily more quickly be fixed if I just get more than one major income, because you guys know I'm the passive income princess. I have where's my scrunchie? I have over 12 income streams that I am getting paid. I am getting paid right this current second from my passive incomes, right? I get paid in my sleep. I get paid every single day. But to feed those systems, you need money. Now, it doesn't make sense to have those systems and take money out of the system, right? Take it out of the system that's working. Because if you take the money out of a system that's working, you're now starting the process over. And everybody knows the compounding is really what helps you out the most. So when it comes to having a machine of all these passive incomes and all you need to do is feed it with money, you need to either do something that's high risk, high reward, so that you can get fast money. It's something with a quick turnaround time, something that you know is guaranteed money. Those are the type of things you're going to be looking for. So that's going to include another job, a part-time job. That's going to include going back to a previous, any like previous real income that you had, trying to go back and do that specifically, since you know it already works. But basically what you're looking for is something that can increase your income, but it's not going to be long term. The reason why I say this is not going to be long term and I'm walking into the interview with this energy is that I know how jobs work. I didn't work my first job until I was 23 years old, maybe. I had a business all through high school, all through college. And then once I got my degree, that's when I got my first job and used my degree for it. And I have a chemistry degree and a minor in Spanish for my bachelor's. So, you know, I'm looking for a chemistry job, and that's just basically how I got my first job in industry. However, now that my morals and my ideas of life have changed a little bit since then, because I'm 24 now, I definitely see myself as more of a passive income person, and I'm more interested in building up this passive income. And so now is a great time to do it, because it's always a great time to work towards your goals. So I'm like, because before, when I wanted to do a part-time job, like, it took me so long to decide. I had so many different options on the table, and I was really only consulting with myself because I'm my main support system. That's not true anymore. But at the time, I was the only one helping myself make decisions. And it just took too long to figure it out. Like, it took me months to figure out if I even wanted to apply for the job. It took me a while to see if I wanted to even take the interview. It took me a while to, like, it was just a long process. Now that I'm in the mindset of, like, okay, I'm probably gonna hate this job in like 2 business months, I know for a fact that just not a quick, but just a cash infusion of $1,000 or $2,000, $3,000, right? That's not really that much for like some sort of minimum wage job, but it's a much smaller store than the others that I was applying for. Well, the other store I applied for, I've only applied to one other job, and I won't be talking about it, and I won't be talking about why I quit. But yeah, that's basically how that goes. So when I get this job, like, I'm going into it with the understanding that this is supposed to help build my financial future, and the plan is to have the job every waking moment I possibly can, and then just be here for a few months. Now, one of the things I would like to encourage the younger people, I know I'm young, but the younger people who haven't worked a job yet, and you're scared, like, oh, I don't want to leave a job because you're not supposed to leave a job after such amount of time, or I'm scared to say I don't like my job and want to leave the job because blah 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 blah. At the end of the day, I don't care what type of job you work. I have a accredited degree from a Carnegie University. They don't care. Like, it doesn't matter what type of degree you have. It doesn't matter what type of whatever. Like, you're not automatically going to be treated better because you have a better degree. Like, you're not going to be treated better by your company because you have an engineering or a chemistry degree. It's just not going to happen. Because it's just not going to happen. What's more important, in my opinion, all right, this is all my experience, what I would say is more important is you really figuring out the type of life design that you want, and then building based on that. So there's some people that are probably going to be working this job who have no other life design plan. They're just like, well, I'm in my 40s, I need money, I'm working at Dollar General, and that's the plan, right? That could be the plan. But for me, it's like, yes, it's gonna suck. It's literally gonna suck. It's gonna suck so bad. Every day I have to go in there and work at 8 hours, or work 4 hours, or work when I'm tired, or like be up if I have to get up for an early shift or something. It's gonna suck so bad. I already know that. But what I'm looking forward to is the opportunity to add $400 more at a time to my passive income streams, right? The streams that are going to run themselves by the time that I'm 30. And there's short-term, long-term, medium. There's quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily payments. When it comes to my streams of income, I'm fully diversified. So this whole system is going to pay me while I'm in my bed sleeping. Unfortunately for now, yes, unfortunately for right now, I could either go start another business, or I can just do something that guarantees money because I know where I want to put it already. Like, I'm working on my social media to have it to be like this, to become an income. And I've made money off TikTok and things like that, but having your own personal brand is a totally different beast I've never done before. So I could spend years building this, and building my TikTok, and building online presence. But what my focus is, right, is the guarantee money. Because even when you build a personal brand, you can't guarantee that you'll make any sales. You can't guarantee that that will even become a steady stream of income for you. So for me personally, what's more important right now is that guaranteed money. So if you're telling me, or I'm telling myself, that, okay, I'm actually gonna go and get a job and use all my free time that I have all day long, literally, and have something to show for it. And that's great. That's just that. I think that's a great idea. So what I'm expecting is, maybe, I know they pay like minimum wage. I don't know minimum wage in my state. I don't know it, but I know minimum wage in a few other states is like $7, $7.25, $7.50, things like that. So what I'm looking for is the highest amount of money that I can get, obviously, on a part-time schedule or full-time, or, you know what, that's actually a good thing to think about before I go in there, because I technically want to work as much as possible while I have the energy to do it and to really build up this cash infusion, because throwing 400 at my debt, or throwing 400 at a different project, or throwing 600 at whatever, is really helpful. And I don't need a huge cash infusion. I just need like an extra few hundred, an extra 1,000 a month, you know? And with the 2 jobs, I should be ranging about that extra a month. But what I was gonna say is that this is gonna be a very short-lived position. And so I'm not gonna enter in thinking, oh, I love these people, I love, because that's how it is. You love it, you love the people, you love everything, you think it's great. And then you work there for 2 months and you're like, oh my God, this is literally torture. And again, it is a customer service facing, customer service, like, I don't know how to even say that. Like, it basically deals with people, right? That's why I love the financial markets. That's why I love finances, because guess what? All my passive incomes have nothing to do with Billy, Bob, Joe, Sam. I don't have to talk to anybody. All I need to do is use my investing strategy and move on with my life. Like, that's what I love the most about that. And that's what I love the most about the way that I make money, because I made a video on TikTok and I was like, oh, your network is not your net worth in the beginning. You really don't even need to have a network. You need to figure out how to build your own business and build something for yourself. Like, that's where the strength comes from. And then somebody was like, oh, this isn't good advice, blah, 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 blah. But to you, it might not be good advice, because all your money is dependent on your network. Every time you need an opportunity, you're reaching out to other people. For me, I don't need that, because I have all my streams of income completely anonymous. Nobody knows how much I make. Nobody knows where all my streams of income are. And it's not like I need people to make money, because money multiplies itself. And I talked about that in some of my TikTok videos that go over the psychology of money and the nature of money, because money doesn't really need your help. It just needs you not to lose it while you have it, pretty much. But anywho, yeah, this is just gonna be that. Like I said, I could just go and start something else. I could go expand my dropshipping businesses. I could go expand this channel. I could go expand my other company that I have. I could, but that's not my purpose right now. My purpose is all the streams of income, that money machine that I have sitting in front of my face. Those 12 different incomes that pay me quarterly, monthly. I'm getting daily, weekly, bi-weekly pay. Like, I want to feed that. That's my interest right now. So if I can get an extra $1,400 and throw that onto something, that makes a huge difference. And doing that for a year, or doing that for 6 months, or doing that for 4 months, is life-changing when it comes to the compounding of investing. So hopefully, if I do know when I get the job, I'm gonna also be on TikTok streaming it. I think I want to, like, just showing me at work. Obviously, like, after a few days of me being there, and you know, because you know, when you're first being trained and stuff like that, you're not really gonna know. Like, your way around enough to be able to pull out your phone and go on TikTok live. But once I get to that point and I'm like, okay, bet I can just chill, I'm gonna be like headphones or one headphone, and do something like this, you know what I mean? Just like, headphone like that. And then do TikTok live and just talk to people and really just make this a really great experience. I don't want this to be like, oh my gosh, you're doing this alone. No, like, I want y'all to come along, because I never thought I would be applying for another part-time job, but I have a different mindset this time than I did when I applied for one maybe like a year ago, where I was a really long time ago. So yeah, I'll see you guys actually that was a year ago. Wow. Well, yeah, I'll come back with the update and my work schedule. I just finished the interview. I think it went well. The problem is I don't have any retail experience, but really, you don't really need experience. Even when I was working my job as a chemist, like, anybody could have done that job. You didn't need a chemistry you wouldn't understand what you're doing. You wouldn't understand the fundamentals. You wouldn't really understand or get what you're doing at all. But you still be able to do it. Like, if you can follow a list of instructions, you'd be able to do the job. And so that's what I feel. I personally feel every job is learnable. Every job is a job that glare is going to be crazy. I feel like every job is a job you can learn. So, like, and I learned that from firsthand experience, because I thought, like, wow, a chemistry job, like, oh my gosh, I'm just so special. No, you're not special, because anybody can literally do that. They won't understand what they're doing. They don't have the education behind it, but physically they can do that job. And interestingly enough, the rate that they're trying to pay me is higher. It's almost 2 times higher than I thought I was going to get. So that's great. And then part-time is obviously like less than 30 hours for the week, right? Yeah, because full-time you work 160 hours a month, which is 40 hours a week. So for this, it'd be like 30 hours or less per week, probably closer to 40 sometimes, because I feel like once I really get to getting the paycheck, I'm gonna really want to like keep at it, because I know that it's like a short fuse that's gonna burn out eventually. I think that was the problem with my other job, is I was like trying to make it seem like a long-term thing, and I'm like, bruh, no, can't do it, Ciao. But this one, I'm like entering with a different mindset. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna be the girl that's like scanning your snacks and your munchies and all your things. And yeah, but I put in an application for a lead sales associate, and she was like, you need to put one in for just a regular sales associate, because girl, you don't got no retail experience. And I was like, you're absolutely right about that. This might be I don't know if I can take a picture here, whatever. But yeah, so essentially I'm outside of Lululemon and I'm outside of Starbucks. So I'm gonna go get some Starbucks. Then in 30 minutes when Lululemon opens, I'm gonna bust in there and have some retail therapy look around time. And then I'm probably gonna go back home and literally that's it. But I still haven't secured the job, actually, because I still need to, she still needs to receive my application, and she still needs to put it through, and she still needs to like get the process working for like the background check or whatever. But I think I technically may have the job, because she was telling me about like the hours I would work and how much the wage is and et cetera. And I'm like, if she wasn't gonna offer me the job, maybe she wouldn't have said that. But then maybe she did receive I did it while I was sitting there. I did the new application, because it's like 4 buttons. And so I sent it in, and I'm like thinking it probably popped up on her computer.